Ladies and gentlemen, all the ships at sea, you know what time it is. It is time for the weekly market report with Nuke. And let's go ahead and get things rolling. So, you know how we're going to do it here. We're going to go ahead and share my screen and let's find out what's going on in Las Vegas this week. So, you know how we do it here. We're going to go here. We're going to go into the 7-day. Boom. Okay. I'm already liking this. Look here. Uh, 863 new listings. So we are actually getting more listings now. So that should help out the problems that we're having. Next thing, back on market, 200. Price decreases 199. Price increases 139. Most of the time, I don't understand these, but I do know it is sometimes it's because the agent did make a mistake in inputting them. And I'll tell you a little story real quick on inputting errors. So it's more than a couple of years, maybe 3, 4 years back. I had a listing and I was heading off someplace and I really needed to get there really quick. I was waiting for my broker to sign so I could put it into the MLS. And I guess she had forgot about it. So I had to call him. It's like, okay, get signed. Now I'm getting ready to put in MLS. I'm furious. I'm rushing really quick to put it in. Now, what's interesting is before I walked up, hit basically to send it over. Before I walked out of the house, I get a call on that thing. Then I'm getting in my car, opening the garage, I get a call. I pull out, I'm halfway down the block, I get a call. I'm about to leave the gate for my subdivision and I get a call. What in the world is going on? So I go like, wait a minute, did I enter something wrong? Everybody's calling on this and wanting to see it. Well, instead of it being listed for 375, I accidentally put a 275 in. So that's kind of what I'm talking about when I keep talking to sellers about how they should not be overpricing their houses, because when you do, you end up with situations where the people don't do that. If I had listed at 475, not a single person would have called. But 275? No, I had 5 calls immediately. So that's how you actually get more money for your house when you price it right. You know, Yoda said, "Do or do not. There is no try." So let's get on back here. That was the end of that little story. So let's see. Under contract, we have 344 and 951. Ooh, that's a lot more than new listings. Sold 1084, 1084, which is actually going to make things a little bit worse because that's actually eating into that new inventory. Expireds 128. And let's take a look at expireds real quick. Majority of them were actually uh, off the market already, but they ended up getting expired. Let's see if I can try to figure this out here. No, it doesn't let me sort it that way. But you can see most of them went from temp withdrawal, withdrawal conditional, and everything to expired. Very few actually went from active to expired. Okay. Come on back now. Didn't do anything. There we go. And withdrawn 79, conditional withdrawals 52, and coming soon's 124. Let's take a quick look. That's something that you may be able to grab real quick here. So for the coming soons, let's filter these by price. So we have a condo that is coming soon. That's Soaring Gulls. That is Desert Shores. There's several complexes in Desert Shores besides the houses. So this is up north. There's only one photo there so far, but let's see here. One bedroom, one bath, 704 square feet for 195. Okay. Here's on Tropicana, two bedroom, two bath, 2013. Let's see what we get. Very nice. This one will probably disappear in a day or so. Let's see what we get for single family. Okay, this is over the base. 225, I believe. Yeah, three pictures. So 275 for 1,026 square feet, two bedroom, two bath, two car garage. Okay. Now, as we always do every week, let's take a look at the new listings. See how we're doing. And we're going to play our favorite little game. What is the cheapest house to come on the market? That is up in Ely, so we're not going to worry about it. This condo here, let me see where that's located. Double check. Nope. 103. I don't believe that's in town. Let's check. Oh, it is in town. So this right now, the cheapest condo is 139.9. Oh my. 480 square feet, one bedroom, one bath. Let's see what she looks like. I mean, it's in nice condition. The issue I have is the size, 480 square feet. And they have two in there, which more than likely means it's the same owner. Okay, let's see. Cheapest manufactured home, still nothing. Okay, 121 Mojave. Nope, that's so far. Not in this area. Okay, nope. Let's see. Keep on going. All these are out of town. Okay. Nope. Condos. Manufactured home. Nope. Out of town. Okay, here we go. The cheapest manufactured home this week that came on the market, $200,000, three bedroom, two bath, and that's what we're getting. $200,000. Okay, let's see if we can find the cheapest townhome. That's in town. So 210 is the cheapest townhome, 903,000 square feet, two bedroom, one bath, one car garage. Interesting. Okay. Hmm. I've actually seen this one. Let's see here. Now we're looking for the cheapest single family. That's not in this area, but wow, 698 square feet. Basement, so I know it's not here. Okay, this is in the area. So this is a tri-level, $240,000, 3 bedroom, 3 bath, 1 car garage, built in 1963. That's what you're getting. No other pictures for it. So right now, the cheapest house that came on the market was $240,000, and we can't see inside of it just yet. Okay, let's look at the broader market, see what's going on. Of course, we're going to link this down to just Las Vegas area. Let's see here. Let's find the cheapest house that's available. Right now, the cheapest house in all of Las Vegas is 210,995, 1,287 square feet, 3 bedroom, 1 bath, built in 1963. This is the cheapest house in Las Vegas right now. $210,000. Now let's go for that median price house. Let's see what we got going. Can't hear it. My dog is going crazy out in the backyard. So we got to get to about 425 here. Oh, there we go. 425. Go for the first one. Looking for at a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 2 car garage built in 2014, 1,484 square feet. What do we get? Okay, single story even. Not bad. So that's representative of what's being listed at the median. Let's get to the average, which is about 525. Okay, so let's just take a look here. We have a 25, 23 square foot, 4 bedroom, 3 bath, 2 car garage built in 2000. This is the average price house. So you see how things are changing. I can remember when houses like this were $200,000. Okay. Anybody have any questions so far? Nope. Don't have any. Let's start going over the news and I'll wait for the first question to show up. So we already know this. Housing prices are at all-time high, and we haven't even hit the spring yet. And spring, it's going to be even worse. Uh, it's really bad. I had a person that put a house offer in this week before I went to see the house. Supposedly, there were no other offers, and I'll talk about that in a second. By the time we go see it, put the offers in, within hours, I get a counter offer back saying it's multiple counters or multiple offers. Contact the agent. They tell me there are 15 offers on it. Now, this is where I get to my supposedly, and this is one of the things to watch out for. I think there were offers when I called them up and said, "Do you have any offers on the house?" And I think this agent going, "I want to get more offers, so I'm going to tell people today that I don't have any other offers." Or for all I know, to the very last minute, the agent was going, "I don't have any offers," just to drive more offers because there are people who don't want to compete at that level or don't have the money. And it's really kind of like a waste. And I know what they're doing. They're playing a game to get more money. It's like I was talking to someone at an awards ceremony on Friday night about how they had a cash buyer and the agent's like, just put in an offer. And then they shopped the offer around everyone else saying, look, I have an offer for 30,000 over. You need to offer more on the house. These are these little games people play. So active listings have declined year over year, which means there are fewer houses, which means that's driving up prices. So when we get these people who are involved in what I call rental porn, love to look at the videos saying the market's about to crash tomorrow. So they think they're going to be able to get into a house. As we continue to go through, you'll see where we're going. Okay, Jason, you're asking a question here. Let's put you up here. Uh, Educated guess, and it's just educated. It's going to be between 10 and 11% for the year. And the reason I say that has to do with the inventory is not matching. There's still strong demand. There are people who are moving it, who are pushing things up purely because they are rushing because interest rates are still going to go up a little bit and they want to save that money. Uh, a broadcast I did a few weeks ago, I showed the difference between purchasing a house like 6 months ago, back in July, and I think it was February when I did this, and I showed that that person now has to pay almost $500 a month more from a combination of the change in interest rates and the change in houses. You know, that's a car payment. That's all your bills, utilities. For some folks who eat cheap, if it's a couple, that could be all their food. They forfeited that by waiting, and it's gonna be the same this year. It's not I don't believe we're gonna have 25% increases in the prices this year, but I do believe, we're gonna be between 10 and 12%, and a lot that's gonna be driving us having, less of an increase is gonna be the interest rate, and let's be honest, people have run out of money. That's just being dead honest. If people don't have money, how in the world are they going to, go out and buy a house? If it costs you 500 more to purchase a house, did you get 500 more from, in your salary? Most people didn't. And it's going to affect by quite a bit. So let's go ahead. This was interesting. Nevada didn't show up anywhere in this, and this is a good thing. So it actually went into the states that tax houses the most. Fortunately, Nevada does not overtax on that. What was surprising to me, and I guess they base it based on percentages and not numbers, California was not on here. I know a lot of people are trying to get out of California for tax reasons, but I guess maybe it's the income tax because it doesn't show here. Also talked about vehicle tax. Nevada's not here, which is a good thing. And let's go into what I saw in the news. So this one is good news, bad news. They're expecting the population of Nevada to increase to about 3.4 million people by 2060. And you're saying that's 40 years away, 38 years away. Well, thing is, if you notice, we live in a desert, and the land that surrounds Las Vegas is owned by Native American tribes, and they're owned by the federal government. So unless one of them sells, how can you grow out? The only thing you can do is uh, take the land that's here in Vegas, and some of that land, a lot of it, is owned by the Hughes Corporation. So I'm sure they're going to release the land, but we can't really grow out. We can only grow within. And where are these million people going to go? So that's kind of a big long term thing to worry about, in my opinion, because I don't know about you. We kind of have a look water shortage. And I think the city does and county does some really stupid things like, they're trying to get people to pull their grass out um, to so-called save water. I don't see how it really saves water because, for one thing, you're just putting in more concrete and you'll end up like Houston. Because Houston, remember that big when that hurricane came through and Houston flooded. They said a lot of that had to do with them putting in too much concrete. So the water had no place to go. If I have grass, first of all, it cools everything down. Maybe they should do the opposite and have more grass and green space so it'll cool the city down. Because anybody who is listening to this who has not been in Las Vegas, it gets very hot, like 115 hot. I mean, like, I've been to Saudi Arabia in the middle of the summer, and it's just as hot. So, yeah. It talks about, uh, some odd reason, just about every census throughout, the 20th century, Las Vegas, population doubled every 10 years. So, in reality, that's a population slowdown. So, I think that's a good thing. Uh, this was really interesting. If I can zoom this in a little bit for you. These charts, this kinda shows why we're having an issue. Remember, we're 5.5 million houses behind. So when you look here, it climbed, peaked at the last Great Recession and housing. Whoops. I'm not even showing you what I'm supposed to be showing you. I didn't show you the other stuff. So look here. Housing just continued to rise. This is them actually building houses. So if we have to build our way out of this, and look what happened. It just fell like crazy because these are big chunks of time and these are small chunks of time. They're building as many houses in Las Vegas in 2020 as they did. Let me see if I can do this straight. Back in the 1940s, the 1940s, that's how few houses are being built. So when you go into this rental porn, believing that houses are about to crash any moment, um, yeah, yeah, keep believing that. Uh, this is a kind of a common sense one. I talk about it all the time, but this dude, he's with the Mullen Group over at another real estate company. But I just thought it was cool to put in here. Plus, I actually know a really good friend who's in his group. Uh, so yeah, we have seen an incredible increase in houses with a uh, increase in home prices and a decrease in inventory, supply and demand. So he starts talking about what's these little terms I've talked about, month supply. So it's the number of months to exhaust the current inventory. Right now, we are at 18 days of inventory as of Friday. So a balanced market is normally 6 months, and we're at 18 days. Uh, Homes normally in a balanced market stay on the market for 2 and 3 months. They don't sell in 2 and 3 days. So we are way out of balance here. So when you have that 6 months, you have that balanced inventory where everyone is negotiating properly. But when you go over that 6 months, it's a buyer's market. Lord, less than that 6 months is a seller's market. So imagine where we're at 18 days. Now look at this. When people keep saying that housing prices are about to crash during the Great Recession and in '07 and '08, inventory in Las Vegas was 24,000 homes. We've already gone through what the inventory looks like now. We don't have 24,000 homes. So he's saying that we'll have to see like 5 months of supply in order to notice any kind of downward pressure. In reality, we're going to have to see 6 months, or people trying to catch the wave on the other end. They just start listing their houses like crazy, going like, "Oops, party's over." So that's when you need to look. So folks who are into rental porn, doing the old, I'm waiting for the market to crash. Here's where you need to look. Keep looking at inventory and months of inventory. When it starts to creep up, maybe to 4 months or so, And I just kind of see what he's saying, 5 months, because that's when people are going to start going like, oh, my house isn't selling in a weekend. Oh, all these people are no longer offering me 10,000 over, 20,000 over. When that happens, and you start seeing that, that's when, if you're a home seller, that's when you need to bug out of the market. And if you're a home buyer, that's when you want to, I hate to say it because it actually contributes to it. That's when you want to pull back. That's when you want to say, I'm going to wait a month or two to put an offer in on a house because things are about to change. Because the pendulum swings very fast. It's not going to just get up to six and stay there for a moment. There's going to be a panic. And the home sellers are going to go, okay, I want to get rid of this before things get worse. That's when you need to move. Either way, as a home seller and a home seller, I'd probably want to list at 3 to 4 months because I'll get the maximum price and be able to sit around for the next couple of months with all that money I'm sitting on and buy a house for less. Just a suggestion. Right now, the Fed is still talking about raising interest rates. Now, interest rates did go down a little bit. And as I've said before, I feel very sorry for the people who purchased when interest rates hit 4.25%. They're under four again, which is a very good thing. Uh, I don't know. They haven't talked about it yet, but last time I checked, there's a little war going on. Even though it doesn't involve us, it involves a lot of things that people did not think about. So I like to put this in the called the Corvette mentality. I just made that up. Uh, I've never been a Corvette fan. It's a cool car. I've had guys who worked for me who had Corvettes, and I've taken rides in them. Like, we go to Hooters, and it's like, no, I've never been a vet fan. But this new vet they have out, I'm a fan, and I would love to get one. But the vet's only 65,000. I'm saying only, but you know how much they sell for? They sell for over 100,000. Supply and demand. The dealers, because they know they may not get another vet in when one comes on the lot, they tack on 30 grand because they can. That is supply and demand. And one of the issues we're having is they cannot build cars right now because of the shortage of chips. And there's twofold reason for the shortage of chips. It's not just them pulling back. I don't want to get too deep into why there's a chip shortage, but in order to make the chips, they have to have neon gas. I did not know this. Half the world's supply of neon gas comes from the Ukraine, which means without that neon gas, there is going to be more chip shortages. So expect even more inflation. And this is one of the reasons they are still talking about doing the rate hike. Is one of the key goals of the Fed is to control inflation. They like to see a nominal inflation rate of 3%. And has anybody been around to the grocery store or anything else? We know prices have gone way, way up. So the Fed wants to tamp that down. I don't know. If interest rates hit 5%, I think people will go nuts. Dogs and cats will start sleeping with each other, and it'll go kind of crazy. So next one, they are going to start building some affordable housing, not as much as is really needed. They're talking about 600 units, and to be honest, most of it is for seniors, with like 200 units for families. I don't know what 200 units, and then what's affordable. Then what are there going to be any restrictions on it? Because like back when I was stationed in Hawaii, the neighborhood I lived in, now I didn't know this. Talked to this guy. The guy was a coastie, and he was talking about when they built the neighborhood, they built what they call market homes. The house I lived in was a market home. I ran it. So, uh, and they built community, what they call community homes. And he just pointed out the houses. So like, see the ones with the black roofs? Those are the regular homes or market homes, and the ones with the brown roofs, those are the community homes. Well, as you know, prior to 2007, 2008, things were nuts in Hawaii, kind of like they are right now. Well, people who bought the community homes only paid like 150 for them, and now their houses were worth like five, 600,000. And there was a, a moratorium; they could not sell their houses for 10 years. So, of course, they knew this. They bought the houses way under market value for like $150,000. Of course, they sued. And the city of Honolulu just rolled over and just said, "Okay, go sell your houses." So they, made a bunch of big bank the way it always is. I'll take this free thing. You say I can't sell it, great. And then when it goes up, I'm going to sue you. So anyway, 2022 also began with record housing prices. They're up 25% from a year ago, which is in line with resale homes. Let's see, the median price they sold here in January was 482, 320, which was up 23.6%, which kind of doesn't match the 25. Maybe they're just rounding up. Well, maybe they're just put in between because new condos and townhomes sold for an average of 342,990 or 25%, 25.5%. So they're operating at full capacity. They have an issue with labor. Uh, if you haven't been around, if you're not in the trades, you'll realize that labor has become very short here in Las Vegas. And I even noticed the other day, I have a house that I have listed, and we were going back and forth with the buyer about repairs. So I called up that my handyman that I normally use. Man, the prices he gave me were just through the roof. I mean, like to fix all the stuff, he wanted like $2,500. I remember I used to hire this guy at a day at a time, like because I'd use him also for my house. I would hire him for a day at a time to come into my house and do stuff. And no, he'd charge me like $300 for the day. All this stuff that was there was one day stuff that he was just charging these ridiculous prices. And that's what's going on. Labor has gone up, especially in the construction trades. There are still shortages of things. And guess what? Even air conditioners need chips. So air conditioners are in short supply. The electrical systems for the houses are in short supply. And I've talked about this before. Some of these builders have like waiting lists and have lotteries and things like that, which is making things even worse. So we have to build our way out of this. There's no other way. And all honesty, and I've talked about a lot of times these buyers out there, the cash buyers, um, how they're offering above market prices. Well, they're offering above market prices and then jacking the price up again. So that's really making things not great because right now we're selling 145 homes per day, which is down from last March when we were selling 160. A lot of that is because there are fewer houses to go around to sell. So right now there are 477 homes under that magic 436, that median price, and there are about as many houses under 436 as there are over $1 million right now, which is crazy, right? Those investors I just talked about, they're purchasing an average of 45 homes a day. So wait a minute. Right now we're selling 100 homes per day. The investors are soaking up 45 homes per day. Some of those 145 are homes that the investors took, flipped, and are selling. Well, how much of this is now investor? They're taking over the market and they don't care what they pay right now. As the housing crunch gets worse, they don't care if they pay 20,000 over because they know they can put 20, 30 into the house and sell it for way more. They're not losing any money. I don't know how Zillow lost money. This is what's even worse. Rent. Rent is now an average of $1.60 per square foot. 2 years ago, it was an average of 85 cents a square foot. Rents are going up. Rents are too damn high. So we have gone from the foreclosure capital of the world to a lot of people becoming millionaires. People who bought after the crash in 2008 and especially in the 2011 era, 2012, some of those people, they're millionaires now just from their housing. I remember guys in my squadron when I was still on active duty, they were buying up houses for like 80 grand. And they were like, why don't you buy up a few houses? I'm like, y'all crazy. I may be like Bitcoin and NFTs because I was talking to somebody on Friday night and I was like, NFTs are a joke. And he was like, he was an NFT advocate. But maybe I'm going to make the same mistake with NFTs that I made with housing because those guys were buying up houses as quick as they could because they were paying like 80 grand for them. They put renters in them. Then after they PC, I don't know if any of them still hold them. What I can tell, a lot of guys when they PCS sold the houses. Anybody who still has that house, ooh, they have two, three of them. They're millionaires now. So I missed my $1 million mark in real estate. So let's hang around for a second, see if anybody has any questions. Always want to make sure we leave satisfied and everybody has anything that's on their mind answered today. Doesn't matter what the question is. And if you don't want me to display it, you just want me to talk about it, just say keep private or don't display or something like that. Okay. What do I think 2025 to 2030 looks like? We're going to have a good housing run for the next 4 years, which is going to take us to 2026. The minimum that any expert says, they have all these, like the most pessimistic one says that housing is going to go up a minimum of 23% over the 4 years. That's the minimum. After that, I'd say we may have a situation where we have either the stabilization or a reversal. The thing is, the reversal will not be the same reversal we had in 2007, 2008. And that is going to be because in 2007, 2008, we had all these ninja loans, no job, no income. We had all these crazy, crazy loans that some people want to bring back. If they bring those loans back, which they may have to because people can't afford houses anymore, they can't even afford the rent. Uh, After that, it's going to be a crapshoot, to be honest. But you're not going to see 70% declines in houses. The most I see is a 10 or 15% decline between like no the later periods. The thing is, like somebody pointed out to me, I mean, let's just do this. I'm going to pull up a calculator. We're just going to put in, let's say, the median price house right now. It's actually 236 now. They have not released the new numbers. Let's say housing goes up at the minimum, and I am showing the wrong thing. Hold on. I'm not even showing it. Pull you off of there. So median price right now is 436 until they release the numbers probably in the morning. So let's say that housing goes up at the minimum of 23%. So over those 4 years, that house is going to climb median to 536. Let's say housing goes down 15%. You're still ahead. I mean, you won't feel ahead. You'll be mad as hell, and you'll sit there and you'll sit around and talk about all the money you lost. But did you lose any money? You bought it at 436, you can sell it now for 455. We all cry over spilt milk. I'm not gonna lie, I'm crying over the stock market right now because I done taken a beating. They done handed it to me on the stock market. But what am I crying for? A year ago, the stock market wasn't even at 35,000 on the Dow. And even after being beat up like crazy, it's at um, 32, 33. Hold on, let me see. What did the Dow close on Friday? Dow closed at 33.6. And I look at it, as bad as it sucks, we are still up for the year, but I'm crying. We've gone from 31,496 to 33,611, 614. But I'm crying. But I haven't lost any money in reality. And in reality, I stopped investing 2 years before I retired because I knew I had my retirement coming and everything else, so I didn't care anymore. So I stopped investing 2 years prior to my retirement. And you see how the money is growing. I lost 6 figures in the last few weeks, and I'm pissed off, but in reality, I'm ahead. I still don't feel that way, but, it's the way it is, especially when the Dow came down from, the absolute high of 36,799 down to this 33,614. So, that's what I think is gonna happen. Uh, Houses gonna go up for the next 4 years. After that, I think the biggest thing that is going to affect it, of all things, is people can't afford houses. And at some point, all of those crazy ass loans that we used to have, you know, interest only and um, va- variable rates and all this stuff that reset after 4 years with the balloon payment and all that crap. I think that stuff will probably come back because people are going to demand it. People do not listen to history or watch history or learn from it or whatever. They say, those who do not study history are doomed to repeat it. I think that prices are going to go so high that people are going to have to go into really crazy, crazy ass loans. And it's those crazy ass loans that's going to cause the decline. I hope that answered your question, Jason. Anybody else have any questions? Give it a minute to here. Make sure everyone has anything they want answered because that's one of the reasons I do this. I take this time out to chill. I normally don't have anything to do this time of day. Okay. Can't pronounce that. So I think it's Mayan 13. Um, do you see anything different in 55 plus community of the market? 55 plus is booming. Things have gone up significantly. Uh, Matter of fact, you know what? I like to show my numbers. So let me pull you back here for a second. Let's see what's going on in the 55 plus market right now. So, search on residential. See what one of these that's you can put in for the 55 plus. Let me see if I have it here. Mm, where is that one? Okay, I know what I'll do. I'm just going to look at the active houses, and I'm going to go to where I know is the 55 plus community. It's going to be Sun City, Summerlin. So this area here. Actually, I should have done a polygon. Yeah, let me do a polygon. Drop it. Okay, so let's see what's going on here in Sun City, Summerlin. That'll make it easier for me to figure out that. Why did soaring gulls show up? That is not in Sun City, Summerlin. Oh, I went too far over this way. Let me see if I can drag that over. This is where Sun City, Summerlin ends. So let's see. So the cheapest place, let me double check I'm doing this right. Man, $8 million. Right now, there are 50 available, and the cheapest place is a townhome that is 1,046, two-bedroom, one-bath, two-car garage. I've actually had a listing in Sun City like a couple of years ago, and it was a bigger place. And it was like a two-bedroom, two-bath, and it was a townhome, and it was 240. So see the differences. By the way, the townhomes in Sun Cities are always one story. They're just townhomes because they're connected to the neighboring house like this. So hold on, gotta do my little privacy thing here. Just look at some stuff on it. Community features. That's where it's at. Community features. Age restricted. Okay, so on this one, the association fees are 205 per month. There's a master plan fee of 138 per month. And I guess there's some other stuff going on because your monthly HOA on this place is $548. Dang. Go back. Privacy's over. I do that in case you don't know, because sometimes there's stuff in the comments that's personal. Maybe they're comments that no one's supposed to see. They'll have alarm codes and showing instructions and things like that. So, or like sometimes the agents are a little thrifty, and instead of putting the nice electronic locks on there, they put the regular mechanical locks, and the codes will be there. So I want to hide that because I don't want everyone on YouTube seeing codes for a house. So the cheapest SFR is not too bad here. 359, 999, 1178, two bedroom, two bath, two car garage. Pictures. That's not too bad. I'd like to point this out. This is something I learned, which is interesting. Folks in the Sun Cities do not cook. So they don't have stainless anything. They don't have high end appliances. They like to, especially the ones who have a little bit of money, they like to eat out every day. They may only eat some breakfast, maybe occasional lunch, but dinner, they like to hang out with their friends. So every house you see, except for a few, are going to have like just oldish looking kitchens. But prices are going up. Let's see, especially the ones because Sun City has like three golf courses. So if you go to the ones that are like on the golf course, let's see if we can find one. Huh, none on the golf course this week. Those are really expensive. And the ones with city views, a lot of the ones like here and like here and stuff. Sun City sits a little bit higher, so you can actually get nice city views. So that drives the price. Let me see if I can use that information I just got there. The association. Here we go. Age restricted. And I can then remove this from the map. Now I can look over the city and look at the other age restricted places. So we have Sun City Aliante up here. So prices in the fours. I remember these prices were in the high twos not too long ago. Yeah, prices in the Sun Cities are going up. I think that's a mistake there. Uh, prices over here. This is actually a mobile home park. See if it comes in. Yeah. So we actually have a few mobile home parks that are 55 plus. So you can see like the price differential. This one I can pretty much tell. Do some privacy here just so I can see it. Probably is yeah, it's a single wide. I'll show you the pictures here in this. Nope, it's a double wide. And it's cash only. You can tell that by the price. If that cheap, it's only cash, and there's probably some reason behind it. So let's see, get off privacy. Bunch of stuff down here. This is where these are the high priced areas here. As you can see, 519, 425, 699, 1.1 million, 695. Yeah. This is Anthem and so Anthem is really expensive. And McDonald Ranch is fairly expensive. I just sold a house in there. 950, 430, 430, 425. Uh thing is, a lot of retirees want to move to Las Vegas because you got the same weather that you have in Phoenix. You know, Phoenix has always been a mecca for retirees, but you have the no taxes here and lower, as far as I know, the property tax are lower. So your money is going to go up. Well, uh, I guess it's still going to go a little bit further because prices in Phoenix, as far as I know, from the agents I know in Phoenix, are actually a little bit higher than Vegas. So you're still going to get a slightly cheaper place. No, uh, no income tax, but you probably don't have to worry. Some of you may not have to worry about income tax, but some pension income is taxable in some states, and I do believe they tax it in Arizona. But we have lower property taxes, so you're going to save on property taxes. If they tax pensions wherever you're going to move, uh, plus think essentials like food and everything like that, and medications are not taxed in Nevada for sales tax. So it's a good place to move to retire to. And you can see all of the retirement communities that we have here. It's just they are a little bit more expensive than they were. Matter of fact, right here in this area on this street, make sure it's the right street. Mm, yeah, actually, it's this one. I had a buyer. It was actually this house right here, and I am not sharing my screen again. Over this retirement community here on the east side, I had a buyer, and we had actually put in an offer on this house right here. We finally got it. It was actually $235,000. This was maybe 2.5 years ago. Unfortunately, the person got sick and passed not too long after that, so we didn't complete the deal. But look at that, just less than a couple. I mean, a couple of years or so. Remember, 235, 258, and this is not even the corner lot. See if I can find it. And this is what I'm talking about. This is on the golf course and 449. That is actually that's a pretty good price there. 757 square feet. Huh. Okay. Um, Mayan 13. I hope that answers your question. If it did not, let me know and I will try to answer it in a better way. Make sure you get what you wanted. Know there's a delay, so I'm going to stick around for a second here. Make sure everyone gets their questions answered. Okay. Pretty much talked about everything, all my notes. Uh, only thing just went past was right now, $1 million plus homes are selling at 4 per day, the highest rate ever. And right now, like I said, the houses that are under 436 are almost equal to the number that are over $1 million. To be exact, 477 for under 436, 415 for houses over $1 million. So that's just ridiculous. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. I try to provide as much information as I can. I was almost going to put something up here, but I couldn't block it out to keep myself from getting into trouble. Or at least I didn't have time to. And it's like the front page, so you'll be able to figure it out. If you go to the front page of the newspaper, there's somebody who's advertising there that they'll sell your house for 1.5% and put it on the front page of the newspaper. Yeah, that's true. But it's part of that smoke and mirrors I talk about a lot. They put your house there not for you, but for them because they see, oh, they put my house on the front page of the paper and they're only charging 1.5%. They forget to tell you about the other end. They require you to give 3% to the buy side. So in reality, yeah, they put your house on there for a day, but that actually gets them more money. I've noticed that the people who started doing that little thing, their businesses have exploded. So if you're selling 60, 70, 80 houses a month, I'm sorry, a year. So what if you're taking 1.5%? Anybody but a fool would not take that. Plus, you're continue to advertise in reality for yourself. So that's how the game really works, with smoke and mirrors and everything. It's like when a realtor has an open house at your house, uh, they're really looking for more business. So that's what's going on. As a matter of fact, unless a house can really be sold that I take a listing on, I actually try not to do an open house because less than 1% of sales come from open houses. With that said, when I hold an open house, I get the houses sold. When I do the way I do the houses, and I'll tell you the way you know what, I'm gonna keep it a little bit of secret. I've been giving away too much. But every house except for one, I have sold at the open house when I do it. And the one that I didn't was because they did not take my advice on what they should price the property because everyone wants to do this. Let's try a higher price. But the house did sell in 8 days. I'll put that out there. This house sold in 8 days, but it didn't sell the day of, which you can normally do if you do everything right. And a lot of people can't do the stuff right. It's not that they don't want to, they just can't. It's very difficult. Okay. Do you have anybody have any questions? Okay. Well, we're coming up on an hour on this. I have not eaten anything. I had to have a late breakfast, so I called it brunch. I'll have to figure out what I'm going to have to eat tonight. I'm sure no one cares what I'm going to eat. Uh, I don't know if anyone noticed my new robot dog here. uh, I'm a Kickstarter advocate for bleeding edge technology, and it just arrived a couple of days ago, and I'm kind of proud of it. Let me see. So it can do all kinds of little cool stuff. So, and I actually ordered this dog because these things never come on time. It was supposed to have been arriving like in November, December. It just came, like I said, a couple of days ago. And I ordered this before I got the puppy. And you guys seen the puppy and everything, who is now a very large dog, even though he's still a puppy, he's 7 months old. And he's wearing the cone around his head because he just had his nuts cut off. So with that, I will end this broadcast. I will see you guys next week. I wanted to at least continue to do this. If you ever have any questions, I'm always here to entertain those questions. You can show up here, email me, text me your question, and of course, I don't know if I put it on this, but go to most of my videos. There is a link to my calendar, and you can get on my calendar for 15 minutes. Oh, let's see here. Perfect dog, no house training. Yes, that was the purpose. Those of you who don't know, I at some point was now I don't know. It gets into a very long story. I don't know if anyone wants to hear it, but no, it's the end of it. So a lot of people probably aren't listening or nowhere near this. Um, I had become definitely allergic to pet dander, so much so that if I was around dogs, my eyes would close up, and I mean, I was just done for a day or so. And I really like dogs. I love dogs, and I really wanted to get a dog, but I couldn't. But then I started, hearing about these doodle dogs, labradoodles, all this stuff, and I was like, they're hyperallergenic. So I can get myself a dog. So I went out and I started researching, and I was going to get a labradoodle or a golden doodle. And I called this person who was advertising golden doodles, and I was going to get a golden doodle. And she said, "Well, we're out of golden doodles, but I have some bordoodles." No, she called them border doodles. Their actual name is bordoodle, half border collie, half poodle. So we got the bordoodle. At first, I thought it was I was slickered. I've talked about this because if you look at what a bordoodle is supposed to look like, let me put it in here. I'll show you. So these are what bordoodles are supposed to look like. He looks nowhere near like this. He has, to be honest, he looks like a Labrador Retriever, chocolate lab. And supposedly, I saw his siblings, and they looked like this. So I don't know but I ended up having him DNA tested, and I mean, he wasn't a pure bordoodle, uh, but he was mainly a bordoodle. He just does not look like what he's supposed to look. Even like the vet called me the other day. I had to take him. It cost me $310 or something. I keep for a few days. I called him Mister 310 because my wife was worried because he threw up. Anywho, uh, what was I saying? Yeah, even the vet, he's like, "Well, it's a Labrador." I'm like, "No, it's not a Labrador. It's a Bordoodle." And he's like, "No, it's a Labrador." I'm like, "Does your DNA test are they accurate?" It's like, "They're very accurate." Well, that's what they say it is. And by the way, what's interesting, if you type in shaved poodle, how would you do that? That's what he looks like. Like, there is a shaved poodle, with the exception of a different color. This is what the dog looks like. So the hair didn't grow out and get all curly and everything. Go figure. Okay. I'm sure y'all are all bored listening to my personal home life here. And I wanted to save this to the end because I know not too many people get this far. I did win an award uh, for, being a top producer. And I attribute that to everyone else, not me, because I do this to keep myself busy in my military retirement because my pension's pretty good. Uh, about the only thing I could say, and I didn't mention it before, and I'm going to go ahead and mention it here. Let's see if anyone ever gets this far. What they normally do is they put a sign in your yard. They sneak in the middle of the night and put a sign in your yard saying you're a top producer. And I started seeing on Facebook about Monday or Tuesday about that. I'm like, oh wow, my sign must be in the yard because everybody was posting it on Facebook. No sign, no sign ever got in my yard. Yet I was a top producer, and I produced more than most of the people who had their signs and posted on Facebook. But I decided to be the bigger man and not mention it and just go to the award ceremony, pick up my award, come home, call it good. Although some friends have said that they would have been offended and mentioned something. I don't care. Anywho, doesn't look like there are any other questions. I've talked about my personal life a little too much, unless y'all really want to hear that. And I am going to end it here since I don't have anything else. Let you guys get on and let me go figure out what I'm going to eat. See y'all.